Hey everybody, like I said, I'm back. So this video is obviously where the Capra is. I know the unboxing video was a little while ago, but I've been slowly assembling parts and buying the parts I need, which is basically what this video is going to be. So, get those out of the way before I lose those. So I will get on to showing you where the Capra is. So over time, obviously I pulled, obviously you guys don't know, but I pulled the receiver out of the Ford up here as that truck's getting all new electronics at some point, not right now. But servo's dead in that one. Still the stock servo. The Tactic went longer than most people claimed it would. But it's got, you know, the stock brushed ESC, the stock brushed 35 turn motor. So a lot of that stuff's just going to get replaced. Probably to the same electronics that are in this, but probably a bigger motor. Just for what I'm planning on doing with that truck. I want them to have a bigger motor to be able to push a little more. But with the Capra, like I said, the GT5, the FlySky FlySky GT5 receiver is in here, 6-channel. Then I've got, obviously there's the light bar up front. I've done no cleaning up for wiring. Hobbywing 1080 ESC quick run mounted at the back there. Obviously, you can see it there. So it sits in that little spot. I'll show you that one right there. Right there. Yeah. So this does come with the programmer, which is nice, so I can go through and set it up to where I want it. Make sure everything's set right. But this is, I don't have my magnifier over here. Use my phone. Because like I've mentioned, I'm blind. So, it's a crawler brushed ESC speed control. It has the on and off switch. It is waterproof. And yeah. It's built for crawlers. I'm not going to sit here and try and do this. But 80 amp, obviously 1080. 10th scale 80 amp. But I quite like it. I've heard a lot about these things. Obviously I haven't run it quite yet. But I've heard a lot about this ESC and finally got one. Had to put the obviously it doesn't come with the bullet connectors. A couple of people I know like just solder it right onto the motor. I didn't want that in case I want to swap motors. So I got the Castle where are they? There's the Castle bullet connectors. Generally made, they're built for brushless, so they're built for power, but they're very nice. Obviously everyone knows what these are, but they're just built for strength of sorts. But you know, there's the cage. Cage is all assembled basically. I think there's a few little bits and pieces I need to get on here just to fully finish it off. skid plate, the transmission. This transmission is a pain in the fucking ass. I lost my mind, or marbles, as some would say, trying to assemble this transmission. I watched a few videos and finally figured it out, but eventually I will be swapping to the 3 gear because this is just a pain in the ass. It's a nice transmission. I don't know how well it's going to work per se. I'm just going to double check this, make sure I didn't over tighten something. Nope. Still good. I've heard it's not geared very well. It could be geared lower. But we'll see how it is. I know a lot of people don't like the bomber transmission. I had no problems with that truck. As you can see in any of my older videos, I ran that bomber everywhere, went up everything, no problems. But for the motor in this one, I've got the Crawlmaster from Holmes Hobbies 13 turn, 540 can. So I'm officially in the Holmes Hobby group. Holmes Hobby group. So I'm really excited to be able to try out this motor. Just because I've seen, you see everybody talk about how awesome Holmes Hobby stuff is, and I've never had a chance to really try it. So this is kind of my first time to be able to try one, and I'm really excited. So there's that. I've got the oh, it's right there. Okay. Got the axles all assembled and built. So there's the Curry F9 axles. Portal axles, front to rear. Really happy with these. My first portal axle, so super excited to be able to run that. Here is the rear. Obviously everybody knows what these look like. I'm not new to this game, obviously, but they're my first ones. And the other two shocks are over there, so I'll just show you these ones. And these are just the stock shocks that come with the truck. Eventually, in the next month or so, I will be swapping out the shocks. And I've actually done something. So, I think I screwed up. Let's take a peek here. Did I? So that's a long one. And that's a long one. That means these two are the short ones. I think I just need to adjust the bottoms a little bit, but I took apart the stock shocks that were in that come in like a normal 10 tube. Took the shafts out of those because they're 90mm, and I put them in two of the shocks. So these shocks are an actual 90mm shock. These two are the slightly, I think I have to just adjust them a little bit. But these two are the 97mm. My plan, and I'm going to see if I'm correct on this, was to make it so the rear had a slightly bigger shock and the front was a slightly shorter shock. My bomber had that. So I don't know if I'm going to be right on this, but my plan was to have the front end a little, don't need as much, the back end just have that little extra flex to it. See what happens. But I will be swapping the shocks out. Again, within the next couple months. And then those shocks I'll probably end up putting on the Power Wagon. Same thing, bigger shocks in the rear, don't mind that. Obviously the Holmes Hobby stickers make it official. yeah, so the shocks will be different, but I want to see if I have an idea with shorter in the front, bigger in the rear, just by a little bit, and see what happens. Could be right, could be wrong. I don't know. Then the last final thing, I believe, oh, this. And then I also picked up this servo. It's a coreless. You'd think I'd remember these things. Coreless. Actually, I'll do this. Coreless. I'm just gonna keep saying the words until I, get it right. This is a 430 ounce waterproof servo. It's a coreless servo. Metal gear, obviously. But yeah, it's a servo. Guy local-ish, it's a ferry ride away, but still BC. Local to me, does a lot of business with a lot of the guys local to me. That's where I got all this stuff. He runs his own little RC shop, so I managed to get a bunch of the electronics that I need, and the same, like I said, all these electronics still be going in the Ford behind me. So yeah, so this, we're gonna to hold another new servo and trying. The Power Wagon still has that one from Amazon, seems to be holding up well, but I don't mind supporting local, obviously, so if it's about the same price, it's actually a little cheaper. See what this one's like. Apparently a lot of the people, most guys run this servo, and then from there it's like a one little more over $140 or whatever. So I'm trying the cheap one. I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money on something that's got the chance of dying and I have to replace again. I don't mind spending $40 every few months to replace something that blows. I mean, the stock Tactic is still going, but it's like Armstrong steering. You got to give it some throttle and turn into the way it is. But yeah, so some new electronics will be tested on the Capra, so really excited about that. But the final thing are the Pro. These are, I'm just running the stock. They're not built yet, but the stock beadlocks that come with the Capra. It is what it is. I haven't really figured out what rim I want to use yet, but once I figure it out, I will do the video on that. But I'm running the Proline Hyrax tires. These are the blue compounds, and I cannot remember what that means. I think this is the normal G8 compound. I don't think it's the Predator compound. But still super excited. Obviously, there's the tread. I have never run a Proline Hyrax tire. I've always run the flat irons or the Super Swampers. I love the flat iron. That's what's on the Power Wagon, and as you see in the last video I did, that truck crawls amazingly well with those tires. But I'm really excited to be able to run the Hyrax because I know those tires are built for crawling. So that's where the truck sits. Hopefully within the next week or two I'll get a run video up of probably another Power Wagon. Don't know if I'll have the Capra up yet. I still got to do the paint and the interior and everything, but get the wiring all nice and whatever. But yeah, thanks for sticking around. Like, comment, subscribe, do all those kind things. And we'll see you in the next video, which should be soonish. It's coming at some point. Thanks, everybody.